Okay, sudah.
Okay. Greetings to everybody who's viewing this video. Greetings to Professor Lau. Okay, we are going to do a discussion on what is Deming model is really about, the advantage, disadvantage, and what is the PDCA cycle Deming's theory has already spoken about. Maybe we can start from Ong. You can explain to us what is Deming's model first.
Yeah, sure. But first thing first, we need to know what is management. Management is getting done through people. And for your information, there is no one-size-fits-all management theory. And now we have one of the well-known management Deming's well-known management theory is Deming's quality management theory, which is what we will be discussing later. Deming suggested that there is 14 points, and which is still being implemented in our modern days. And the aim of this 14 point is to make sure that all people work together joyfully. The essence of the Deming's quality management theory is PDCA, which is plan, do, check, and act. And now, Farah, could you share with us the relationship between PDCA and the 14 points?
Okay, for plan part, I'll talk about point 2, which is adopt a new philosophy. It tells us how to plan strategies to overcome competition in today's market. In order to achieve success in this competition, new philosophies need to be adopted according to the market trends and technology revolution. Everybody in the company must adopt and implement the philosophy. However, quality must be maintained both in product and organizations.
Okay, thank you. Alright, maybe we can go to the do where we can talk about how we can do in the plan, do, check, act.
For the do, I will explain it with the point 9, which is break down the barriers between the department. And in this point, the main keyword is the teamwork. And let me suggest that is the cross-functional teamwork should be used for the company to manage it. The cross-functional teamwork will like use to understand each department and reduce the adversary relations. And can you imagine if the employee from each department they are fighting to each other? This will cause the headway for the company, which means if one part of that department, like if productive department is win, but this doesn't mean the whole system win, just individually. So for the Deming, we suggest that we should learn from the Japan, which is they use the interdependently to manage their whole company, which is different from the America, which they use the independently. So, like the example is inefficient of we produce is if the product design is flawless and the sales department cannot sell out and the production department cannot produce. This proves that each department should have the good communication each other since the work starts. So all these things can be done efficiently, will eliminate all the rework, erase time, all that.
So she's saying that the Japanese way is different, but the Western way is different. Maybe we can just go in the check where maybe Wana, you can just talk about how can we check in the PDCA cycle.
Okay, choose dependence on mass infection. We should net the need for infection on a mass basis by building quality into the product first. As you all know that inspection is too late, ineffective and expensive. Quality not come from the inspection, but from improving the production process. There are many effective and corrective strategies that can be used to achieve quality.
Yeah, true. Without everything, without acting itself, theory, we just talking, nothing will happen. Maybe Ima, you can talk about how can we just act up everything that they have already been planned.
Okay, point number 8 is here is suitable to enact to achieve quality. That means describe this point that is the most important point that affect the other point. Okay, as we know, here is a barrier to improvement. To work efficiently, there must be an
only from mistakes we can go to success. Christine, you can add anything more regarding this?
I would like to add number 5, point number 5, which is to constantly and forever improve the system of production and services. The essence of Deming's model is always being customer orientation, so to meet current and future customer demand, we must improve the system and the services as it will increase productivity and result in high quality products.
Yeah, customer is always right.
Yes, Christine, yes. Now, everyone, when we talk about management, what is the very first thing that comes into our mind? Of course, a leader, right?
Yeah.
So, why do we need a leader? In my opinion, we need a leader because a leader will eventually guide not only people but machines and gadgets to perform more efficiently. A leader should not be afraid to point out mistakes to his or her worker so that they know what they have done wrong and improve themselves. As Deming has stated in his book, Out of the Crisis, he said that specifically a leader must learn by calculation whenever meaningful figures are at hand or by judgment. If any of these people lie outside the system, maybe individual help or reconnection could be offered. What do you think, Mahesa?
Yeah, that is very true. And everything is talking about just regarding the Deming PDCA cycle. Maybe we can just talk about the advantages and disadvantages, how this Deming model can be seen as an advantage. Maybe you can tell the advantages?
Okay. For the advantages of Deming model, I thought supplier have to be innovative and develop the business process because supplier always need to count on long-term business with a processor. With a long-term business, the relationship between the supplier and the processor can be improved. So supplier has to be innovative to produce a product with a low cost, high quality, so it can satisfy the customer. And normally we know that the low cost product can reduce the use environmental resources, can also maintain the saving through the environmental efficiency and waste and energy management.
Yeah, it's more to money also, correct? So maybe a disadvantage, anything you want to say?
However, the Deming's model also their weakness itself. So the aim of Deming's model is always to stay at lower price with better quality. So I think it's not too relevant. It's because quality products must be comes from the better ingredients or material. So we need a bit high in price, so high in cost to get a better ingredient to produce a better quality product. So that is the weakness of the Deming's model that I observed from what I did.
True. Every model has its advantages and disadvantages. Well, just in a nutshell, I just want to say that this discussion has really opened our minds. We have understand more about this Deming model. And anybody who is viewing this video, I really hope that you will understand more about this Deming model from our discussion. And of course, we are from Group 3, and thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.